Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we are here at Sochi for the Russian Grand Prix, and so now let's get in to the start of the video. And so on to the end of our flying lap in Q1 and crossing the line now and going into P4, and eventually that turns out to be P11 at the end of the session, putting us through quite easily into Q2 here and on to our lap on the medium compound tyres here, going across the line, and it's P12, so we're going to have to do another lap on the soft compound tyres as we go on to this lap now and across the line. Will this put us into Q3? And yes it does, as we go into P8 here and now on to Q3 here and on to our first flying lap here of Q3, and going across the line we go P3 ahead of Max Verstappen and behind the two Mercedes cars. But now on to the end of the session, we're down into P6, and where will this lap put us on the grid? And we qualify in P6, and now let's take a look at the grid.
Here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Perez, the Rainmaster, Sebastian Vettel and Verstappen, Stroll, Hülkenberg, Kvyat and Daniel Ricciardo. Leclerc, they've taken a grid penalty. Weber, Alexander Albon and Giovinazzi. Raikkonen, Russell, Robert Kubica and Roman Grosjean. Norris and Devon Butler starts from the back of the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
And so it's on to 5 red lights for the start of the Russian Grand Prix, and it is away we go here. And it's not been the best of starts for us, as Sebastian Vettel gets ahead of us here, and so might our teammate as well, as he takes P5 away from us. But can we retake the position back from him into turn 2? And yes we can, and that is us back up into P5 after the poor start there. But now it is Max Verstappen, and now he is right on the back of Daniel Kvyat at his home race, and they are now side by side. And who is going to come out on top? And it looks like it's going to be Max Verstappen here, and Kvyat's going to want a very good result at his home Grand Prix. And now on to lap 3 here, and that is Sebastian Vettel, and his engine has blown up completely, and that's him out of this race, and with it his championship challenge has taken a massive blow here, as now we are on board with Valtteri Bottas, and he is trying to take the lead away from Lewis Hamilton here, and he has done so here into turn 3, and now on to lap 4 here, and now we are trying to overtake Sergio Perez at the same time as this Valtteri Bottas move up ahead of us, and we are now still side by side with the Red Bull driver here. And just who is going to come out on top in this battle between us two old teammates here? And it looks like we are still side by side with Sergio Perez here, and now into turn 5. Will Perez hold it around the outside, or can we try and defend a bit more, as there's a wee bit of contact there but not enough to affect either of our races here, as Perez gets a good exit out of this next corner and takes the position for the moment here. But now it's Lewis Hamilton, and he's going to try and retake the lead away from Valtteri Bottas here, as they are now side by side, and it's a bit of a lock up for Lewis Hamilton, but he retakes the lead nonetheless here. But now it is on to lap 4 once more, and we are trying to overtake Sergio Perez once again here into this corner here, but it's not going to quite be enough here. But now it is Charles Leclerc, and he is on the back of the homeboy Daniel Kvyat here, and they are now side by side, and Charles Leclerc takes the position away from the Russian driver. And now it's on to lap 5, and we're going to try again here into this corner, as we are now side by side with Perez once more. And who is going to come out on top this time in this battle between us? And it looks like Perez has the inside line, and that'll be the advantage he needs to defend from us this time around. But now it's Valtteri Bottas, and he's going to try and retake the lead from Lewis Hamilton once more here into turn 2, as they are now side by side, the two Mercedes drivers. And who's going to come out on top this time around in this battle between them? And it looks like Bottas has retaken the lead once more. But on to lap 6 now, and we are trying to see if we can force into a mistake, and that is a mistake for Perez there as we take P3 now. But now back to the Mercedes battle, and Lewis Hamilton is going up the inside of his teammate once again here, and they are side by side. And who is going to come out on top this time? And it looks like it's Lewis Hamilton who takes the lead of this race, and on to lap 6 now, and we're trying to defend from Perez, who gets the inside line here and now retakes that final podium position away from us here. And now it's Max Verstappen, and he is on the back of Lance Stroll, our teammate, and can he make this move stick here as they come out of turn 2, and Verstappen takes the position, but for how much longer, as Lance Stroll now has DRS on Max Verstappen here onto the back straight, and Lance Stroll retakes the position there. But now on to lap 11 here, and now we're trying to go up the inside of Perez once more here, but we've gone a bit wide there into turn 2, and that'll allow Perez to come back at us into turn 3, and Perez retakes P3 once more. But now later on to lap now, and we've got DRS once more on Perez on the back straight, and can we take P3 this time away from Sergio Perez, as we do now take the position. And on to the start of lap 12, and into the pits we come, and it's a decent stop there from the team, and on to a set of medium combat tyres, but it's a virtual safety car as we come out of the pit lane here. And what will that be for? It's for Alex Albon, and he's out of this race, and that has produced the virtual safety car here in this race. But now it is Charles Leclerc, and he is on the back of the Red Bull of Max Verstappen, and can he make the mistake into turn 2 here as the Verstappen holds it around the outside and defends the position from the Ferrari driver. But now on to lap 15, and we are now defending from Sergio Perez once again here, as he now has the inside line here for this corner. But can we hold it round the outside? And the answer is not quite, but we can go up the inside into the next corner. And will this be enough, as we are now still side by side here going into the penultimate corner of the lap, and Perez will have the inside line, and that will ensure him to take the position. But on to lap 17 now, and we're trying to go up the inside of Perez into turn 4 here as we take the position of P3, and that's a good overtaking manoeuvre from us there. But now it's Sergio Perez, and now he is right on the back of us, and as well as Max Verstappen as well, and Charles Leclerc in there as well, as we are overtaken by Perez, and now we're side by side with Verstappen here. And can we defend from Verstappen now? Round turn 3 we go, and can we defend from him? And yes, we just about can, as now Leclerc sees the opportunity to try and go around the outside of Verstappen, but it's not quite enough. And on to lap 22 now, we're going up the inside of Perez once again here in this race, as we go a wee bit off the track, and will Perez come back at us into turn 3? Not quite, as we're able to defend here from him. And now on to lap 23, and Perez will have the DRS here, and he overtakes us here into the second corner. And will Verstappen maybe come at us as well? He has a wee look, but it is not quite enough at this moment in time. And now on to lap 24. Now we've got the DRS on the main straight here, and we are now trying to re-overtake Sergio Perez into turn 2 here. Who's going to come out on top in this battle? And it looks like we have taken P3, but later on to the lap now, and now Perez will have the DRS once more here, and now he has the inside line into the corner. And does he hold it around the outside of us? Not quite here, as we are still side by side here, but Perez has a better run out of the corner and now takes P3, as Bottas now sets the fastest lap of the race, as Verstappen comes alongside us here heading into the penultimate corner. And can we defend from him now and into the final corner? And who's going to come out on top in this battle? And it looks like Verstappen has taken P4 away from us, but we are going to get the DRS here out of the corner of turn 1, and we will get the slipstream as well, and going up the inside into the second corner. And can we retake P4 away from Verstappen? And yes, we can here. And now on to the final lap of the race. We've got DRS on Sergio Perez into the final DRS zone of the race, and now we're side by side with the Mexican driver once more in this race, as Lewis Hamilton sets the fastest lap on the final lap of the race and wins, as well as Perez takes P3 away from us now. And will that be our last chance to take a podium position in this race? It looks like yes, it will be, and Perez is going to take the final podium position, and we are going to come home for a P4 finish in this Russian Grand Prix.
It's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes.
And so it's Lewis Hamilton who wins this race, and followed by Valtteri Bottas and by Sergio Perez as well. And in the championship, it means that Lewis Hamilton has quite a big gap at the top, but it's not impossible for Vettel to close that gap and win the championship for himself. But if you have enjoyed the video, then do leave a like, share the video around, and subscribe to the channel to see more videos on F1 2019. So I will see you next time for another video, and goodbye.